Hey guys, it's Rob Bingham. How you doing? Just thought I'd introduce my Syil X7 to the owner's family. A bit cramped in this room, but it is what it is. Lighting's shocking at the moment. Electricians coming in at the weekend, so at the moment it's just work lights. But yeah, we're all good. Got a tank full of water. It's been a couple of days now. No leaks, nothing like that. So that's good. I can get that drained. Now I'll actually wait. Coolant's coming. Got Synergy 735, which is being delivered hopefully tomorrow. If not, it'll be Monday. It was paid for today, and they said they were going to ship it today. Also chosen Synergy Blazer Synergy Way Lube, so there's a good compatibility between my Way Lube and the Coolant. Been shopping today. Bought a couple of bits, which I'll show you in a couple of seconds. I'm an absolute bugger for looking at things and thinking, can I make that better? I hope to do more videos in the future. It'll probably involve a lot of those same things. That's what I do. So we've given the machine a degrease, just the shipping grease, and then it's had a coating of ACF 50, just a thin wipe over, so it's all looking nice and shiny. I've not taken the transit straps off yet. I'm waiting for George is going to come over when we power it up the first time, and he recommended not taking those straps off until it's actually powered, so that everything's locked in place, that nothing moves and can't move off its axis. So yeah, looking good there. Arm tool changer. Pretty impressive actually. Down in here, there's oil level inside. There's a lot going on inside this auto tool changer. I'm pretty impressed with the door as well. I don't know if you can see, if I can get up in there, but this is a linear rail that the door runs on. So it's a nice, I'll step back over my water tank. It's a very nice movement. A nice positive clunk where it stops to close the door. So that's good. I'll just come around the side a minute. Got this window out at the moment, just because it was easier for me to climb in there for wiping it all down and everything like that. There's my 16 tool ATC. So that's going to be heavily populated soon. And then around the side here we've got the lubricator. There's air in, there's another air valve of some sort, so I'm not really familiar with a lot of these things. Do at the moment, will be. Certainly one of the first modifications I'm going to be doing, something I'm not overly impressed on. Nothing to do with Syil, but anything with my job that involves the same thing. I don't like seeing fittings pulled tight out of push fit fittings like this. I'm not a big fan of that. So I've bought 10mm elbows. I will be, I've got some tube on the way as well. I'm going to be squaring all those off. That tube now will just go straight into there with a new vertical piece. Same with this one, that's going to be doing the same. This one as well. That one's not too bad, but again, it's quite a steep, tight angle that's pulling on. I'm not a big fan of that. And even this one to a degree, I would just rather use 90-degree bends. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't use a 90-degree bend in there and take the stress and fatigue out of these joints. You know, they're right now when they're brand new, but what in 5 years time? You know, it's so, and there's cheapest chips. They're just, sorry, my cup of tea. They're just cheapest chips straight off Amazon or eBay or any of your suppliers or whatever. But being out shopping today, the first thing I'm going to change with this, these are my oil lines, sorry, coolant lines. So the coolant lines come in here into the side of the tank. Traditional hydraulic flared fitting, so there's a flare fitting that's inside of there. Nice and robust, interesting that they're for coal mining use only. We won't be doing any coal mining with this one. I will show you what I'm going to be doing on there instead in a few seconds. All very chunky and very nice, and it's a massive Y motor that's in there. But yeah, it's looking good. Plenty of room underneath. Obviously, this is where the coolant and the chips come out of there into the coolant tank that's running along the side just here. This big, heavy, sturdy frame. It really did amaze me when we had to move it, just how heavy and solid this X7 is. And I've got to say, a lot of people sort of get concerned when you're thinking of Chinese manufacturing. This thing is built like the proverbial brick shithouse. It is absolutely solid. All inside the closure here, it's all really nicely sealed. It's nicely all powder coated, and everything just oozes quality. I've had a really good look all over everything, and my 5th axis, and it's just, you know, it's all nicely done. It's all nicely connected up there. Actually, I'll just point that out to you. Come around this side. We've got, when that one's out the way, we've got an isolation here to turn the coolant. Hang on, there it is, there we go. So we've got an isolation tab here for turning this coolant off, on and off. So that's pretty good if we ever need that, if we're having to use like an air mist coolant or something like that. So there's all the nozzles. We've got a light running on the top up here. I will put one up here as well. I know several other people have done that. Probably just literally use like an LED security light type floodlight up in the corner there. The 4th axis quick release cables are all up in here, so that's quite easy to disconnect the 4th axis. Also interesting to see as well, the 4th axis can be laid on its back. There's bolt positions on there, so you could mount that if you wanted with the chuck facing straight up. So that's that bit. But yeah, what I was going to show you is the coolant tank. At the moment, it's I've got it full of water. Just do a test. That will be drained out when I'm ready to wash everything. But the oil lines connect straight onto this fitting. It's a non-return valve. We've obviously got a pump here, a pressure pump for the coolant, but those big oil lines, the coolant lines then, if they're correctly called, go onto here. However, if you wanted, or if I want, to take this tank out, move it away because I'm a bit limited on space, as I think you already know in this shop, then I want this tank out here in the open where I can clean it and get to it, which means disconnecting the oil lines. So into the merchants today, the thread on this nipple is a 3/4 BSP, British Standard Pipe Thread. It goes into there, standard plumbing fit, international thread, I believe that is a BSP. So I went out and bought a 3/4 to 3/4 female BSP gate valve, so a ball valve, sorry, should I say. Then I bought a couple of centerless barrel nipples, so normally they have a hexagon around the middle. These are all stainless steel. And then I bought a stainless steel inline quick connect. Well, not that quick because you've got to unbolt it. And then another nipple to go, ease off for a walk, to the other end. And it basically assembles up this. I can now put that onto, one second, I'll get over it, straight onto here. And try and do this now one-handed. Alright, and my oil line, or should I say coolant line, is now here. Live, is pressured. If I want to disconnect this at any time now, I can just drop that handle down, which now isolates all of the fluid that's above it, all the way back to wherever it goes into the machine. Break this joint, and the only fluid I'm going to lose now is literally the width of my hand there, the amount of fluid I'm going to break. I can then drop my hose out. I'm going to do the same obviously on this one in a minute, so these two will just be one above the other. And there's my disconnection from my coolant. The other thing I'm going to be doing as well is running inline filter. Having watched NYC CIC and NYC CNC and John Grimsmo and several other YouTubers, pretty much everybody is putting an inline filter between here and going to your coolant nozzles, so that you're not picking up little tiny chips and then firing them at your workpiece and at your cutting tool. So I'm going to filter those out. So not immediately now. The key thing is to get the machine up and running, get it commissioned. George is going to come over and make sure everything's working as it should, but that will be in due course. We'll be putting some filtration on here. Also, I've got a skimmer to go onto the tank. This has got a metal plate on here with the tramp oil goes into the top into a thing here. That may well change. I'll probably leave the original plate. I might just make a new one in stainless or something. I've got a suds pump, so I might put another pump, completely separate pump on here, just to pull fluid straight out of here through a filter and straight back in again that end, and just keep this circulating, because unlike a lot of you guys that are machining day in day out, my day job, particularly during the winter, means that I won't get a lot of time in the workshop to start with. This is down the line I'll be using it more. Certainly in the moment I won't be, so I don't want the coolant stagnating and starting to get a bit funky. So I can then, as Nick Hume recommended to me, stick it on a timer every 4 hours, let it run. So let it run for an hour if need be, every 4 hours on a timer, and keep the coolant circulating. That way it's all staying nice and fresh and nice and agitated, and it's not going to go stale on me. And this is overfilled at the moment. And it was Nick actually said to me, don't go as high as that because you'll trap oil on one side compared with the other side. But yeah, that's just filled up to the brim basically, so I knew that I didn't have any leaks. So, anyway, there's just a quick overview. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of you know we had a pretty epic time with the shipping, getting it to the UK. Again, nothing to do with Syil, nothing to do with George and MVO Engineering. They did everything they could. They can't help when a Maersk ship has an engine that catches fire, then puts it in a Spanish port for 4 weeks, and then delays, because if instead of it coming back to England as it should have done, it went straight onto its home port in Germany, then everything had to be taken off that boat, put on a different boat. Then that boat couldn't come to the UK because we had snow. Not quite still yet worked out how that could stop a boat coming, but that's another story. But yeah, there's my machine. She's here. Looking forward to this weekend, getting electricity all connected up, getting some really good lighting in here, and also you can probably hear with the acoustics, it sounds a bit echoey. There's nothing really in here at the moment. There's a false wall going up behind me at the moment. Now that the machine's in, that will suppress noise going to outside, and by the time I've got other stuff in here, it's not going to sound hollow like it is now at all. So yeah, can't wait to get going, guys, and I shall be making various videos as we go along. Certainly as well from a beginner's perspective, a lot of guys buying these are already seasoned CNC guys. I'm not. I have absolutely zero CNC experience or knowledge. So this is a big investment for a first CNC machine, so a lot of people start with just a small little benchtop one or something. This is straight in the deep end, but hey, what a machine to have to go into the deep end with. So, right, speak to you soon. Cheers guys, be safe, keep well.